Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to a new Legend of Mushroom video. Today we got a very special event running at the moment, which is going to be done by the time you're probably watching this video. Anyways, I'm going to be uploading it just as I recorded. So there's still 8 hours, pretty much 9 hours to get the Ox mount, right? The Ox mount, it is basically the best free-to-play mount you can have for PvP as an archer, right? So you right now have the chance to go ahead and use all your coins here in the Lucky Spinner you've been saving up for a long time to be able to go ahead and try and get it, right? It's guaranteed if you got at least 500, and as you can see I have 700, right? So if you don't know, I might as well talk about it real quick. You can be saving up these coins in between events, right? Even though they're called as room coins, even though you don't use them, right? If you go ahead and use them in between events, like every single event, you're gonna have a very low chances of actually getting what you want, because you can only get, I think it's like 40 something per event, right? So the thing is, they do not disappear in between events. You can be saving them up for as long as you want, and eventually once you do have enough of them, you're gonna be able to just get whatever you want, guaranteed. As you can see right here, 500 draws, it's gonna be the guaranteed final reward. Now in this Lucky Spinner we also have the Chaotic Warlord's Hammer, right, which is basically the best and the only artifact you can get as a free-to-play player, right? So it's actually pretty decent for us archer as well. So if you are looking to get anything literally out of the Lucky Spinner, today is the best possible day, or in general this whole weekend has been the best possible weekend to get your hands in these two kinds of items, these two items, right? So there we go. We got the Warlord's Hammer, as I already mentioned, which is going to be giving you some global basic attack damage increase. It's a little bit, actually. I got it at level 2 right now, that's why it's 12%. Baseline, it's going to be 10%. And then there is also going to be the effect of basic attacks and combos. It's going to be dealing a little bit of extra AoE damage, right? It's nothing crazy, believe me. It is not like this is going to be revolutionizing your class at the moment, right? The build you're running, but it's better than nothing, right? It's better than having no artifact whatsoever. I already have it. I got it up to level 2 already. So today I'm going to be going and getting the Blue Ox, which I've been meaning to get for a little while. I also got myself the White Tiger back in the day. Not exactly the greatest, but honestly, well, I just wanted to be using my coins, because at this point I've gotten, I don't know, a total of a couple thousand of coins in general throughout my whole gameplay times, right? So let's go ahead and check out the Blue Ox real quick before we go ahead and roll it. So the Blue Ox gives you some pulse crit damage, which is kind of whatever. Of course, we are not really counting on the damage from the pulse that much. We are just archers, but what's going to be doing is increasing the damage resistance by 10% and shortening the duration of crowd control effects by 30%. What this does is, of course, going to be taking a little bit less damage, but most importantly, it's going to be reducing the amount of time you're going to be spending in crowd control, which for PvP is detrimental, right? Imagine that you are both and your opponent are starting off the combat by using something like, for example, the stun that we're usually running, in the form of, disarm, right? Disarm is going to be counting as a crowd control. 3 seconds you're there just like chilling, or you're starting with Dazzle, for example, 5 seconds stun. If you both and your opponent are using these skills, you will both be resetting, or rather coming out of the stun at the same time, meaning that the fight is kind of like even. But if you have the Ox mount, you're going to be having a little bit of an upper hand, because, well, your opponent, it's not going to be coming out of the stun after whatever, let's just say a second and a half later. That window is more often than not going to be enough to also help you out to just win the fight. Of course, if your opponent is extremely powerful, it's going to be quite hard for you to actually be able to just use that time to actually kill them, but any second counts, right? PvP in this game is extremely fast, right? So let's go ahead and just do a quick battle so we can have a little bit of a comparison, right? It's not guaranteed that when we are fighting anybody, we're going to be facing an even match where both of us are getting stunned, but yeah, let's just go ahead and remove that. But more often than not, this is what's going to happen. We are also starting here with Blitz Assault. In this case, we couldn't really see the fight because I got some gear, right? But if you are both starting with Blitz Assault, usually you might just be immuning that stun anyways, right? So it's really depending on what kind of build you're facing against. Let's see if I can fight somebody here with a little bit of extra power, right? So let's just see what happens. It's also sped up like a lot, right? So for example here, I did have my Blitz Assault and the enemy didn't. They had the shield from something else, so they got stunned and I just had free reign to go ahead and remove them from the map, right? Remove them from the game in no time. So let's just go ahead and do the rolls now. Freeze! Download Legendary Mushroom through Aptoide right now and enjoy bonuses of up to 35%. As you accumulate these bonuses, you'll be able to use them to buy things for you instead of actually using your real money like we are showing right here. All you need to do is go to Google and search for Aptoid, click on the first link that appears and download it. As you download Aptoid, it will install in your device. Once it is installed, go ahead and search for it in your device, and then within it, go ahead and search for Legend of Mushroom. Go ahead and click on Legend of Mushroom within Aptoid and download it and install it in your device. Then head on over to Google Play and search for Appcoins wallet and download it and open it up. Once you have it installed, here you will be able to see how much bonus you currently have unlocked, as well as input my promo code Midway, which is going to be increasing the bonus you are getting when buying things in Legend of Mushroom by 5% forever. As well as here, you're also going to be able to see your purchase history. There is a guide down in the description, and the code is also down here on the screen as well as in the description. So go ahead and get it now and start earning more value for your money. So we only need 500, but there's also, of course, a chance that we get it before that, right? So we could also try and get it to like level 2 or anything like that. Let's just go ahead and draw, right? So it is going to be, we can actually skip it, right? So let me just go ahead and click on that. So we'll just click this until we see it pop up. We are not going to want to, we're just going to be looking at the number down here, right? We're already down 100. That was quick. But you want to be seeing this reset because otherwise you might skip it, I believe. I don't think it's guaranteed that it's going to be like showing up in the screen and like the game is frozen, so you're not able to keep rolling. Anyways, just look at that number. We're already down at 250 rolls. Not getting lucky here. We are also getting all this stuff down here, which is not bad whatsoever. Also a lot of extra resources and some levels on here on our good old smoke bomb, which is definitely a skill we really want. We are now down to, what is it, 180, 170. Even though we are getting really unlucky, we actually already pulled it. There we go, there we go. 497. It did actually not do the full thing, I think. I don't know. In any case, we already got it. As you can see, it didn't pop in the screen. And we actually could go for another sort of rolls, although we are not guaranteed to get it, so that is up to us. We can now just go ahead and actually equip it, which we can see over here. We're going to be having it ready to unlock. Pelt crit damage, whatever, we don't really care much about it unless we are speccing into another one of the classes, which of course does care about it. Let's just go ahead and use it here so we can actually also see it. As you can see, it's over there. Now if we of course get it to next level, it's just going to be increasing that pelt crit damage a little bit more, which is not really what we want, right? So like rolling into that, it's going to be a little bit whatever. We could also be using some our spinners over here and maybe going for, what is it, another level on the hammer, but we do need 2 of those, right? And it's going to be giving us some global basic attack damage. I think I would rather get some other random stuff, I don't know, some other mount or whatever, just for the passive effects, and also just because, whatever, having more stuff, right? So I don't really think it's going to be worth getting this to level 2, because it's only going to be giving me, what is it, like 30 more power crit damage. The effect is not going to be increasing anyways, so yeah, I don't think it's a smart use of my coins here in going ahead and doing that. So I'm going to be stopping here, but let's go ahead and check out now what the Ox mount is going to be allowing us to do, right? It's going to be quite difficult to see, of course, because the game is really damn fast. We are running with that double speed, right? We have it running right now. I don't think we can cancel it anyways, right? So we cannot speed down the game to see what's going on, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and find somebody that I think I might be able to beat. Of course, again, in this game, if you're fighting somebody who is, whatever, it's just like blowing you up, I think this guy is probably going to blow me up. I think I fought him back in the day a couple times. But let's just see what's going to happen, right? So we're both starting off with a stun. And as you can see, he's still sitting in the stun, and I am already out of the stun. It's pretty damn quick, but even then, I did have a little bit of an advantage. Not sure if Blitz Assault went out on both of us. I think it did, but still, it was just not enough, right? I did some damage to him before I did take the damage, but in any case, I still died, right? So here we go. We are again, he came out of the stun a little bit later, and I was already out of the stun, able to attack just a couple seconds sooner, which gave me a little bit of the upper hand, right? So maybe a couple of basic attacks and combos is going to be just about enough. You never really know in this game, right? In any case, it is a little bit of an upper hand. It is better than running something else in this type of content where it's just so damn quick. I did manage to get a couple seconds there, and I'm definitely sure there it did help out a lot, right? Because the stuns were running for a little bit longer or whatever. I just went out, came out of the stun a little bit earlier, and that little bit of extra damage did help me out right there just about enough, right? you can see the power disparity between me and some of these guys is huge, and that doesn't really mean much, right? In this game, definitely I'm losing this one because I cannot even kill the copy. There we go. So now he's just decimating me, right? But that's what usually happens. Sometimes the power gap disparity, as you can see over here, these numbers really means something, and once you do fight them, it is just lost from the beginning because they just have way too much HP, way too much damage, whatever. But in this case, yeah, we can find some kind of even fights, and if we do so, then yeah, we're starting off to attack a little bit earlier, and we just kind of almost killed them, but not quite. They were just able to do a little bit more damage to us, even though we did have the upper hand there with the stuns, and they just did more damage to us than we did to them, right? They do have the shields as well, they do have the blitz assault and stuff like that. A lot of things to take into consideration, and in any case, yeah, it does help. In any case, believe me, it does help. It is just for PvP also. It's not something you're going to be getting some good uses out of in other forms of content. Now, if there is some stuns or whatever, some knock-up, some disarms, that all counts because that is crowd control. So it's definitely worth using in PvP no matter what you're facing, but it's of course going to be coming down to whoever your opponent is, right? I don't know if I did fight this guy. I am pretty far behind still in this game. I did take quite a big break of a couple months, and then when I came back, well, things were not in my favor. But there we go. This one is kind of even, and I don't know, maybe I could have still won if I did not have the upper hand there with the stuns, but that was a little bit more even thanks to that, right? And I still got the win right there, right? So let's do one more and see. You can see I'm fighting people who are like 20 million power above me, right? So yeah, definitely not easy matchups. I cannot even kill the copy there, and the stuns, yeah, he did. I think we came out of the stun at the same time, whatever. He just decimated me. Anyways, guys, definitely worth getting as an archer. It's not going to be changing the whole game for you. You still need to, of course, be strong in every other aspect of the game, but it is well worth getting if you're a free-to-play player. It's going to be helpful. It is pretty much one of the only options you have as a free-to-play player that's really going to be worth getting with your coins here in the Lucky Spinner. And in the whole case where, if you do not have the artifact here from this event, I would definitely be prioritizing getting that one first, and then getting the blue ox. And then whenever new events come around, I might maybe just about them which of these mounts are worth getting just for the passive effects. You might not want to be using them in other forms of content, because in PvE in particular there is other better options, right? If you go over here to the rush shop, we're gonna be having the Cloud Drifter, which is just better in general for most forms of content. It's also pretty damn great for PvP, just as a nuking kind of mount. The Power Breaker, also pretty great in PvP, rather PvE, unfortunately, sorry. And then Adapto Slime is also decent in PvE, as well as the Boom the Bank, right? So there's other better options here from this system here with the Sky Rider passes. Not really, you're not really going to be finding stuff that's well worth using in PvE from the Lucky Spinner event, right? So, yep, that's my 2 cents on this event, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it, and if you agree with my takes on these mounts. If you got the mount yourself, well, let me know down there in the comment section as well. And I'll see you on the next video, guys. Have fun. Yeah, like, subscribe. That's it. Bye bye. See you.